YouTube, what's going on, man? Today, let's talk about the first weekend of March Madness, man. 'Cause this weekend was crazy. A lot of unexpected things happened, and let's dive right into it. First off, let's talk about how there's only one Big Ten team left in the tourney, and that's Michigan. So the Big Ten underperformed big time. I'm very disappointed in the way the Big Ten performed. But shout out to Michigan for advancing to the Sweet 16 for a fourth straight year. Definitely a bittersweet moment for my Illini squad, man. Had them going to a championship game. But they lost in the second round to a very good Loyola team. I'm very impressed by the way Loyola played. They executed perfectly. They half court defense was outstanding, and they just dominated from the tip off. But let's talk about Oral Roberts, the number 15 seed, advanced to the Sweet 16. Man, this team is very good. They are most definitely better than the 15 seed. They actually had the nation leading scorer right now. They point guard. They got a very good 1-2 combo. They point guard and they big man. They've been performing very well. They actually in the conversation as being the best 1-2 punch so far in this tourney. Big wins from them against Ohio State and Florida, and they are in the Sweet 16 against Arkansas. Texas lost to Abilene Christian, 4-13 seed. Virginia lost to Ohio. We got North Texas being Purdue. We have Oregon State. To me, I didn't expect them to be the Sweet 16, but they're in the Sweet 16. Beat Oklahoma State. They beat Tennessee in the first round. Then Syracuse making another good tournament run. They are in the Sweet 16. Probably two of the most impressive wins so far this tournament against San Diego State, who I thought was a sleeper team in the tourney. It didn't beat a very tough and gritty West Virginia squad. They face Houston in the Sweet 16. That's to be a very interesting Sweet 16 game. But before I talk about the three number one seeds real quick, I want to talk about how well the Pac-12 are looking so far in the tournament. USC, man, probably had the most impressive win yesterday, or the weekend, I'm sorry, against Kansas. They won by 30 something. The Mobley brothers look very good. And then let's talk about who they play in the Sweet 16, Oregon. I was very impressed with the way Oregon played yesterday against Iowa, man. They was shot lights out. Their offense was explosive. They ran Iowa out the gym, man. Very good win for Oregon. Then we got UCLA advanced to the Sweet 16. They beat BYU. First off, they won a playing game against Michigan State. I had Michigan State win that playing game, but UCLA had been looking very good. Then they beat BYU. Then they beat Abilene Christian. So they are in the Sweet 16 against Alabama, which should be a very good Sweet 16 game as well. How this weekend was, man. I was all over the place watching so many games this weekend. But I want to talk about Villanova, man. Jeremiah Robinson Earl, man, is probably one of the most impressive first two games, in my opinion, in the tournament. Just from him scoring from all three levels, his passing ability, the way he defended on the perimeter and in the interior, he's been very good so far this tournament, and definitely interested to see what his stock is going to be after the tournament because he's for sure a first rounder. He could possibly get in that late lottery. And the only Big Ten team in the Sweet 16, even while they lead scoring Isaiah Livers, they played pretty tough this past weekend. Had a very tough one against LSU. That was a very good game. And now the Sweet 16 opponent is Florida State, which should be a very, very good game. I see Illinois losing to a Loyola squad, but they got outplayed that game. Outplayed, outcoached, out hustled, out everything. Loyola just dominated for the tip off, like I said. So shout out to the fam and Loyola for getting the win, man. It's just sad to see that these two Illinois squads facing off this early in the tournament. But it was a game to see. It was a good game to see. One heck of a season for Cade Cunningham. I want to give them a quick shout out. Oklahoma State, which I was kind of surprised they lost to Oregon State, but they had one of those off shooting games, right? They had a lot of good open looks. They just couldn't make the shots. It's one of them games, man. But shout out to Oregon State for pulling out the win and making a surprise Sweet 16 run, in my opinion. But Cade Cunningham, man, was great to see in the tournament. He didn't have the best of the tournament, but it's okay. He's gonna be one heck of a player in the NBA, man. In my opinion, definitely a future All-Star. But man, heck of a season. The fact that he carried his team into the postseason when not a lot of people expect him to make the postseason. The team is very good, man. Top 15 team in the country. Top 15 team all majority of the season. So shout out to Oklahoma State. Okay, kind of Luka Garza. Even though, like I said, I wasn't not really all that high on Iowa like a lot of people was throughout the season, and it's kind of got exposed against Oregon. But one heck of a college career for Luka Garza, especially the last 2 seasons. I think he was the back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Year, but had a very good college career. Shout out to him. Alabama had 2 very impressive wins. This team one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the left in the tournament. This team shot lights out last night, and they shot lights out the game before in the first round. So this is a very quiet team. Well, I possibly think they can make a run to the Final Four, or at least Elite Eight. I do expect them. They play UCLA next. That's gonna be a very good game. But the way Alabama playing, I like their chances of making this Elite Eight and possibly the Final Four. And then last night is Preston from Ohio. Man, he's a very smooth point guard, very under control point guard, very good pick and roll. And I see why he was a late first round. I got an opportunity to see him, watch him play against my Illini early in the season. He was very, very good. And once again, just watching the first 2 games, he's very under control. And you can see he's an NBA player. He's definitely gonna be a solid NBA prospect. It's gonna be interesting to see where he get drafted to. So it was a sight. It was good to see him. It was a sight to see. Love watching him play this weekend. Heck of a season, Preston. They look very impressive the first 2 games. They play Houston, which would be a very good game. But now I want to talk about the 2 most dominant teams, from this weekend. That's Gonzaga and Baylor, man. Let's talk about Baylor first. Baylor, first game, he had an easy win. Look like they rounded back into the form as they were throughout, through the majority of the season. They look very good against Wisconsin. They had the best, to me, the best guard, tandem in the country. Off night, Butler. They got a lot of weapons there, man. And it's a clear path for them to make it to the Final Four right now. I know they got Villanova up next, which should be a pretty interesting game. Even with the loss of their point guard and the captain, but Villanova has been strong. But the way Baylor looking right now, man, I think they got a clear path to the Final Four. They just have an offsuit night, or they just beat themselves, because I don't see nobody really beating them unless they beat themselves right now. Unless, which this is why it's March Madness. Unless the team just get extremely hot from outside, which now the way Baylor look, them and Gonzaga look like the clear top 2 teams left in the tournament right now. Now let's talk about the other team in Gonzaga, man. Once again, they just, to me, they've been the best team all season, man. They got so many different ways they can beat you. They can beat you from inside with Drew Timme. They can beat you from the wing and Corey Crisper. They can beat you from guard play with Jalen Suggs, man. They can beat you many different ways. To me, they're the most efficient offense, in the country, and they displayed that last night, and they displayed that over the weekend. And they play Creighton up next, which I think is a very favorable matchup to them. And I think they got a pretty solid path, to the Final Four. I will say, though, it would be very interesting if they beat Creighton and they mess with USC. That would be a very interesting Elite Eight game. But right now, them and Baylor looks like the best 2 teams, best 2 teams in the tournament. It was full upsets. You can't tell me that this weekend wasn't so exciting to watch, man. So many upsets, so much good basketball. Man, this March Madness. This is why it's March Madness, man. This is why, to me, this is my favorite time of the year. This is my favorite tournament, because March Madness just brings it every year, man. But now, lastly, I'm gonna give a preview of the Sweet 16 games. So we have Gonzaga versus Creighton. And then we have USC versus Oregon in the West bracket. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make my predictions here. I'm gonna go with Gonzaga beating Creighton, and then that's USC Oregon game to be very, very good. But I'm gonna go with USC because I love the way the Mobley brothers playing. I love the way the team is looking right now. And then I'm gonna go with Gonzaga beating USC to get to the Final Four. Now let's talk about the East bracket. We have Michigan, Florida State, UCLA, and Alabama. This is going to be very interesting. I have a hard time. I had a tough time with this one, but in my when I made my original bracket, I'm gonna stick with Florida State. I think this is where the loss of Isaiah Livers is gonna hurt them. So I'm gonna go Florida State, and then UCLA versus Alabama. I love the way Alabama is playing right now. I'm gonna go Alabama. So I got Alabama versus Florida State. I love the length of Florida State against a hot shooting Alabama team. And I'm gonna go with Florida State, man. Florida State in the Final Four. So I'm gonna go with that side of the bracket. I'm gonna go Gonzaga versus Florida State. And then let's talk about the South. Baylor versus Villanova, and then Arkansas versus Oral Roberts. I'm gonna go with Baylor because I think Baylor right now is too strong for Nova, especially with the loss of their point guard Colin Gillespie. And then Arkansas versus Oral Roberts. This is the way Arkansas is looking. I want to go Oral Roberts, but the way Arkansas has been looking, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna ride the wave. I love the way Oral Roberts looked this past weekend. I'm gonna go Oral Roberts. So Oral Roberts versus Baylor. And then this is where I think Oral Roberts and they run, Cinderella run ends. So I'm gonna go with Baylor being Oral Roberts to get to a Final Four. And then now let's go to the Midwest bracket. We got Loyola Chicago versus Oregon State, and then we got Syracuse versus Houston. I love the way Loyola is playing right now. Their defense, their half-court defense is one of the best I've seen, this season. And the way they execute on offense, I like their chances against Oregon State. I think they match up well versus Oregon State. So I'm going to go Loyola Chicago beating Oregon State. Against Syracuse and Houston, man. I love the way Syracuse looked this weekend. I think they hot right now. Buddy Boeheim is hot from three. Alan Griffin bringing the toughness in that 2-3 zone. Going to provide problems for Houston. So I'm going Syracuse. So I have Loyola Chicago versus Syracuse. And then, I don't think a lot of people noticed how good Loyola Chicago was. I watched Loyola Chicago a decent amount this, especially, me being Illinois State alumni, so they always been in my conference. This team is one of the best teams in the country, in my opinion. They're a top 20 team. They've been top 20 in the country for a reason. So I'm going to go Loyola Chicago beating Syracuse. So then my Final Four matchups would be Gonzaga versus Florida State on one side. Then I have Baylor versus Loyola Chicago. I have Loyola Chicago making another Final Four run, man, which would be great to see. Sister Jean, all with the fam be on Loyola Chicago, man. Be heck of a Final Four again. With that being said, I hope you guys, enjoy the video. I hope my prediction is right this time. Even though I still have my champion Gonzaga still left in the tourney, but my other who I had them facing the championship game, Illinois, they out right now. But this is why it's March Madness. This is why I love this time of year. This is why I love the tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will be back with another recap video after this weekend. See, who make the Final Four, and then I make my Final Four and championship predictions. So please hit the comment in the comment section how you guys feel about the tournament so far. Who are your biggest upsets? Who are you mostly disappointed in? How you feel about the tournament overall, man? Are you loving it? Are you hating it since your team is out? And let me know if this is your favorite time of the year, man. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll catch y'all next week, man. Peace out.